Welcome to the Idiot Box. This is Rings of Power Episode 1. The episode starts in the elven realm of Valinor, where death has no meaning. When Morgoth destroyed the shining trees of Valinor, legions of elven warriors sailed through the Sundering Sea and reached Middle-earth to fight Morgoth and his army of orcs. After centuries of war, the elves won, but at the cost of many elven lives. Among the fallen is Galadriel's elder brother Finrod, killed by Morgoth's most fervent disciple Sauron, who brands him with an unknown symbol. After Morgoth's defeat, Sauron escapes and hides, waiting for a chance to make a comeback. Galadriel vows to avenge the death of her brother. After sweeping the Middle-earth's landscape for centuries, Galadriel leads a band of elves up a snow-covered mountain in the northernmost waste, Arondir. One of her soldiers asks her to abandon the search, as it is likely that Sauron is gone. But Galadriel pushes the party through a blizzard and into a massive ruin. Among the orc corpses, Galadriel finds the three-pronged sigil of Sauron and orders the party to move further north. But Arondir disagrees. But before they can solve the dispute, they are attacked by a snow troll. Galadriel single-handedly takes the troll down. But the party ceremoniously put their swords down as a sign for non-cooperation, and tells her if she wishes to go further, she has to do it alone. The view turns to the wilder lands, where we meet a band of Harfoot kids who are picking berries led by Nori Brandafoot. One of the kids shows Nori a huge paw mark in the mud, and she quickly sends the young hobbits home, and we get to see a sharp-toothed creature prowling the area. The scene shifts to the elven capital city of Lindon, where we see a young Elrond riding on a leaf. A messenger arrives and tells him that he is not invited to the High Council as he is not a High Lord, and also that her friend Galadriel has arrived from her journey. Elrond welcomes Galadriel, who tells him the whole deal about the sigil, and asks him to arrange a meeting with the king. In a ceremony, the High King spins Galadriel's findings as the proof that Sauron is no longer a problem, and asks Galadriel and her party to return to Valinor. Later that night, Galadriel argues with Elrond as she is not convinced that the threat of Sauron has passed.
Evil does not sleep, Elrond. It waits.
But Elrond convinces her to go to Valinor and be at peace. Now from Lindon we travel to the Southlands, where the men reside. At a small village, the sylvan elf Arondir enters a bar and inquire about the weird happenings in the east, and a local gets in an altercation with the elf. It is revealed that this town of men supported Morgoth back during the war, and is now under the watchful eyes of the elves. Out back by the well, Arondir chats up with a woman named Bronwyn who flirts with him a bit. Later, his elf buddy warns him about the perils of a pairing between elves and humans.
My point is this. Only twice in known history has a pairing between elves and humans even been attempted, and on each occasion, it ended in tragedy.
At the watchtower, they receive word that the war is over and elves are ordered back home. Arondir visits Bronwyn's house to say his goodbyes. Their saucy moment is interrupted when a local farmer comes with a sick cow. Arondir learns that the cattle had been grazing in the east and investigates its black milk, and he decides to travel to the town in the east with Bronwyn following him. Meanwhile, Bronwyn's son, Theo, finds a broken sword with Sauron's sigil on it. In Lindon, the king and Elrond discusses about Galadriel's departure, and the king asks Elrond to work with Lord Celebrimbor. For those who don't know, this guy is going to play a very important role in the future. Arondir and Bronwyn make their way due east, where Bronwyn tells her that the town they are traveling to is her hometown, and his spicy moment continues. Yikes, things are sure heating up. But it's not the romance between Arondir and Bronwyn. It's the town, because it is on fire. Now we go to the Sundering Seas. Galadriel and her party is on her way back to Valinor. The party removes their armor, but Galadriel is still conflicted, and as the gates open to welcome them, Galadriel backs away and jumps overboard as the gates closes. The episode ends with a big fireball goes streaking through the sky and crashes not far from the Harfoot camp, and Nori goes to investigate the smoking crater and finds an old man in rags. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe for more.